drama The Defenders, starring Jim Belushi and Jerry O'Connell. Stick around or they'll sue you. So much media, so little time. Who keeps track of it all? That would be me. This is Bob Andelman, and this is the Mr. Media Interview. You know, MrMedia.com, MRmedia.com. Stop by and check it out. There are more than 600 archived celebrity interviews for your listening pleasure. The show is brought to you today by thepartyauthority.us. Planning a wedding, mitzvah, or corporate event? For any and all occasions, call the Party Authority nationwide at 1-800-DIAL-DJs. That's 1-800-342-5357, where one call does it all. Now, Mr. Media is recorded live before a studio audience of extremely well-dressed barristers in the new media capital of the world and home of the best team in baseball, St. Petersburg, Florida. The story is a good one. Las Vegas law partners Michael Cristalli and Marc Saggese thought Fox was going to do a reality show based on their clients and cases. And no doubt that would have been pretty cool. Well, Fox passed. And then an odd thing happened. CBS picked up the show as a weekly scripted drama. Instead of following around Cristalli and Saggese with cameras, the iNetwork saw greater value and potential in taking the bigger-than-life characteristics of the pair, casting a pair of real TV stars, Jim Belushi and Jerry O'Connell, and from what I've seen, it looks like the producers chose pretty well. The result is The Defenders, a new series that will take its place on the CBS fall schedule on Wednesday, September 22nd at 10 p.m. Check out this preview of the show.
Be bold.
Be bold. Bet the house on red.
I'm just saying.
You know how dumb that sounds coming from a Vegas lawyer?
Pretend you're a professional?
Morelli, Kasmeric. Mrs. Campbell had a statue fall on her foot at Caesars. Mr. Wallace got married last night, and he needs an annulment.
Defendant stood over John Thompson and deliberately fired.
He did intentionally shoot, but he did it to keep 4 men from pounding his brother's head into the concrete driveway.
The jury is a wild card here, bud. They could give you 40 years.
The three you do with this plea gives you a chance to have a life.
I didn't do anything wrong. No deal.
Bad decision.
Not if we win.
Don't be stupid.
Are you mocking me, Mr. Brown?
No, Your Honor. The jury is mocking.
Oh.
And they all know the law better than you.
One more word and you're fine.
Find me. I'm not gonna make you a better judge.
Bold enough for you?
You had your wife followed. She's cheating on me, Pete. You guys are separated. She can do what she wants.
Look at her. Look at the smile on that face.
Nothing.
I mean nothing. Look at how close they're standing.
All right, you got a hug, Nick. That's it. No kiss, just a hug.
Look at the hand. Look at the hand. She's pressing him. She's pressing him.
It's like, what's
Give me
up,
that.
bro?
Jay, does that look like just a hug to you? Right,
Stop having your wife followed, or I'll file a restraining order myself.
Meredith Kramer of the DA's office. This is our new associate, Lisa Tyler.
Congratulations on joining Morelli Kasmeric. I guess no respectable firms were hiring. You really don't like me much, do you?
Why? You starting to like me?
Not really.
How you feeling?
Like I'm all in on a pair of 10s.
Quite simply, the victim was shot in the back from above.
And the trajectory told you all that.
It's the trajectory.
Trajectory?
Trajectory.
Right. You're a baseball fan, right, Dr. Pitts? So you know when a batter gets hit by a pitch, turns away so he doesn't get beamed. Wouldn't it be human nature then for John Thompson, when seeing the gun, to turn away? Would that account for the bullet's trajectory?
It's possible.
Objection, Your Honor.
I am so sorry. I got water all over your back.
You are a genius. You guided them right there.
Not guilty.
Good Lord, what is so interesting about a billboard?
I don't think we missed it. Wow. Wait for it, Nikki. Wait for it. Would you look at that, Nikki? We're huge. Yeah!
Yeah,
big time, baby.
Do the defender stance like in the poster. Come on.
Yeah!
The defenders!
Hey, guys. Sorry. Guys, stick around because I want to ask you to do the Defenders pose in a minute. Now, folks, the Defenders will give us another take on life in the up-all-night city of Las Vegas, a place that has already been good to other networks for long runs of Vegas with Robert Urich on ABC and Las Vegas on NBC with Josh Duhamel. And, of course, who could forget, Vegas was the starting point of the many versions of the CBS hits CSI. So what's the deal with Cristalli and Saggese? Are they really like the characters depicted by Belushi and O'Connell? More or less? Let's find out. Michael Cristalli and Marc Saggese, welcome to Mr. Media.
How are you? Thanks for having us.
Pleasure to see you guys. How much have you guys seen of the show to date?
Well, we've seen the entire pilot being filmed, and we're consultants on each episode, so we've seen snippets of each subsequent episode. And Michael and I work daily with the writers on the scripts via phone.
Really? So you've, as I see, one of the things I was going to ask you is, as attorneys, did you make sure to be able to keep a tight rein on your portrayal in this show?
Go ahead, Mike.
I think CBS wants that. I mean, they fell in love with the documentary. They fell in love with the interaction between myself and Mark and some of the dynamics of those personalities. And in fact, that's what Jim and Jerry based their character off of. They watched the documentary many times together. They actually played the parts out of the documentary. And so that's really what they want to stick with, the focus of the documentary, what we tried to communicate during that. So I believe they've really captured the personality and the flavor of that show.
It seems like, you know, every so often you see a TV show where the actors seem really perfectly cast to the characters. And although I haven't seen a full episode yet, I've seen repeated clips and different variations on the clips. And from what I've seen of some video of you guys, it seems like these guys seem to get you pretty well.
It's true. We've seen them give an interview to the Television Critics Association about a month ago. And they were describing Michael and I, and we were pleasantly charmed by it because, you know, it's not all positive, but it's all very true, very accurate, how Michael and I interact with each other, and they really do have it down. We like to see the interaction because it's based on how we behave.
Now, you've got less than a month before the show officially debuts on CBS. Any last-minute regrets about being turned into TV characters for eternity?
No, it's great because we have the ability to deny everything because it's a drama.
That's true.
So anytime somebody says that really happened, and we certainly could claim responsibility for it, but we also can deny it. So no, we're really excited. It's been a great fun to do this. It's been surreal. We've gotten to meet a lot of great people and been able to put our story out on the big screen, and so that's great.
Did this turn out to be a better arrangement for you than to do a reality series where you're being followed around with cameras?
I think so. Michael and I have had many discussions about the ins and outs of having a reality show based on our life where we are the stars and the cameras are following us from the moment when we get out of bed in the morning till when we go to bed at night. We had our concerns about that. You know, Michael and I, as trial attorneys, often a lot of the information we handle and deal with during the day is very private or privileged. And as a result, it might have been difficult to juggle those two things. And also, in regard to our private lives, you know, like Michael said earlier, we like to be able to say, oh, they took a lot of dramatic liberties when they did that. We would never do that. But when it's a reality show or a docudrama, as they were calling it, and it's you on the screen and it's your image and your voice and you're doing those things and you are behaving in that way, there's no way to deny that. So we get an opportunity when they script real life events to say they took dramatic liberties with it.
Mark, I think, let's see, Jerry O'Connell plays you. I think the character is it Pete Kasmerick?
That's correct.
Right. seems to be playing Pete as a real ladies' man. And I'm not asking you this question, but I'm going to ask Michael. Is that a fair portrayal of your partner?
That was really smart to do, because I don't think you would have gotten an accurate response from Mark on that.
That's why I asked you.
Mark's actually just recently been married and is an absolute love. But you have to remember the documentary was shot probably around 3 years ago or 4 years ago, and it was a much different story. So I think he did have an opportunity to get out there amongst the ladies and have a good time for a period of time. But now he is happily married, and everything is great.
And in complete denial?
That's another way to say it. Yeah.
That must be one of those aspects that you're grateful that you can say, honey, it's fiction. They make this stuff up.
Exactly. I've already said that half a dozen times. I would never do that, honey. Are you kidding me? That's crazy.
And that is the benefit of it being a drama.
Absolutely.
It's I mean, just in the previews, your character Pete, Jerry O'Connell. God, this would get confusing. Is I think there's two women in their underwear just in the preview, so it's kind of interesting. What class at law school covered this, guys?
Yeah, the same class in law school that taught you how to really be a lawyer and to be able to open a business and practice law. There is none. You kind of learn those things on the go and over time and experience. So a lot of the show focuses on these two guys who are real people and have real life stories and have to deal with real problems in their own lives, but have to get up and work hard for their clients on a daily basis and fight the power of the state or the government and try to protect their clients' interests.
Yeah, and I want to add that this entire thing is something Michael and I stumbled upon when the ACLU was involved with a documentary company filming a documentary here in Las Vegas, and asked if they could be part of an individual who needed representation in the meeting in our office. And Michael and I agreed. We said, sure, as long as the client will sign waivers and everyone's comfortable, you could bring those cameras in and we'll be part of this documentary, which was a completely different issue. And they came in and there were fireworks and sparks, and for them, they said it was an amazing interaction. And for Michael and I, we said, it's just another day in our law office. This is not out of the ordinary. And they were amazed by that. And then they asked if we would be interested in allowing them to film more of it and produce a documentary exclusively on the defense, and Michael and I. And then it morphed into a CBS drama. So nothing in life prepares you for this, and I think it's the type of thing where you just be the best, in our case, lawyer you could be, and if something like this is going to happen, it's going to occur naturally. Like I said, it came to us, and we are ecstatic and honored to be a part of it.
In what ways have the writers improved upon the team of Cristalli and Saggese?
What they improved on? Let me think about that. Certainly it's scripted, so they could improve on the outcome of cases. We don't, I think they had more successes in the first 3 episodes than we've had in the last 5 years. Now that's being kind of funny, but you certainly have the ability to direct the outcome of the case and direct the show itself. So that's a luxury. And when you have the documentary, you don't know what's going to be interesting and exciting on a day-to-day basis. You may have nothing going on for a couple weeks, and there may not be that high drama. What they could provide on a weekly basis is high drama, and they could have a beginning, a middle, and a conclusion every week. And that's something that the documentary may not have been able to produce.
Right. The law itself is not that neat and clean.
That's not on a daily basis, no.
No. And is there anything that the writers have concocted that's made either of you just a little bit nervous? Because you know that it's going to grow or continue, or I don't know, character traits or coworkers or clients, any of that kind of stuff?
Well, my wife already says that it's bad karma because my character, Nick Morelli, has been, I don't know if he's been kicked out of the house, but he's been out of the house with his wife, and he's trying to rekindle that relationship, but it hasn't been going that well.
And that's not accurate in real life. Michael's character is separated, and she's dating.
Yes.
And yeah, that's not good.
In real life, I do sleep home with my wife. And
they're happily married. So
in perfect harmony.
In perfect harmony.
but Michael, just
because she may be watching, so it's
that's the luxury of the drama as well.
But Michael, for pure verite, maybe she's going to feel that she needs to date because she sees this character having more fun than she is.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Wow, never thought of that.
That commentary that should assist me.
You're welcome. Now, what do you want the show to do for your careers as lawyers?
Well, we hope that it does shine some light on the defense side, and specifically with Michael and I, and that light shining on the defense counsel and defendants. It shows how much Michael and I have taken our lumps and how hard we have fought, and how we take the smallest case and fight like it is World War III, or the biggest case, a capital murder case. We will fight like to no end to defend the rights of our clients. We've done that for the smallest guy to the biggest guy. And career-wise, if that's reflected in the show, and also how Michael and I deal with, we have moments of levity and we're kind of funny when we need to be because of the serious issues we deal with the other 20 hours of the day. We hope it reflects positively on us, and people say, hey, you know what? If those guys are half as good in real life as they are on TV, I would love for them to be our lawyers. And in reality, after what Michael and I have seen and read in the scripts, it's very true to life. So we are as good, or they're as good as we are as lawyers. So we hope that it has a positive impact on our clients and new clients.
And Rudy, I got to tell you, Rudy, our engineer, just wrote, "Can't wait to go to Vegas and break a few laws now."
Yeah, you'll be taken care of well.
Yeah, you'll be fine. You get into trouble, and we'll get you out of it.
There you go. Call Cristalli and Saggese.
There you go.
Now, plenty of Hollywood executives have started as attorneys. Is that a route that either of you might see down the road, or do you want to stick with the law?
Those executive office positions, they're kind of boring. So, we like to mix it up a lot. That's why we are trial lawyers. Adrenaline is a big, even though we don't necessarily jump out of airplanes, fighting for somebody's life is an adrenaline rush, and we are junkies to a certain extent. So we do like the action, and we are trial lawyers, and we enjoy being in court and fighting for the people that we've fought for, and we want to try to continue to do that. However, nothing's certainly not out of the question, and who knows, maybe we'll be asking interviewing questions like you are someday.
Oh, now you're pushing me out of a job.
Not this particular show.
No, different show.
Unless, of course, you move on and then there's a slot to fill. Maybe we would step in.
Well, we're all out of time. No, guys, a couple more questions. How did you meet, and at what point in your careers did you decide to practice together?
Well, we have a unique story. My grandfather and Mark's great-grandfather came over from Italy together in the late 1920s, early 1930s, and settled in Utica, New York. They're originally from a little town in Italy called Siciliano, which Mark has visited twice. In fact, he got engaged there this year. And our moms grew up right across the street from each other in an upstate New York, small Italian-American community. And we never knew each other. We were only, several years apart in age, but I'm obviously younger. But that's not true. But in any event, we didn't meet. Obviously. We didn't know each other back in New York, and it wasn't until we're out here in Las Vegas, and I had opened up my practice, and Mark came out, and we were introduced through a third party that was also from Utica, and we had an opportunity to go to a local little small Italian joint for lunch called Chicago Joe's.
Yeah, good pasta and meatballs.
And we met there. That's kind of how the relationship began. And several years later, after Mark got back from the JAG Corps, we reunited, and we decided to join forces.
And how's that working out for you?
Well, so far so good. We've been together since 2003, partners since the end of 2004. And like any two good Italian guys from Utica, New York, we have our fights and our disagreements, but in the end, we know exactly what we're made of and how we're built and raised and what values matter to us. So it's been a pretty good marriage. We've been very successful. We've been very blessed. We're very grateful for any of these successes we have had. So I think partnering up with Michael was a great thing and continues to be a great thing. I think together, what's that saying? The sum is greater than the.
You're gonna ask me a question. You're gonna ask me something that I'm not gonna be able to answer.
What's that saying? That the sum is greater
than the whole.
The parts, or
the parts, something like that.
In any event, we wouldn't.
Do you know that?
The sum is greater than the parts.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I don't know. Whatever it is, you got two lawyers and a writer radio guy, and we can't form a complete sentence. This is really sad. We've gone from a real height in the show to we've bottomed out, which is probably means it's time for me to say, oh, here it is. Rudy comes to the rescue again. The whole is greater than the sum of the parts.
There you go.
There you go. And the point being that Michael and I individually are good lawyers, but together as a team, we're really a very, very excellent set of lawyers because we play off of each other very well.
And we wouldn't be in the position we are in today. Individually. It's because of the relationship that we have and how people perceive that interaction is why we have this show today. And I mean, that's really what it's about. So without
guys, I apologize. I have to jump in because we're about to run out of time, and I want to tell everybody that you can watch the legal adventures of Michael Cristalli and Marc Saggese, as played by Jim Belushi and Jerry O'Connell, respectively, every Wednesday night this fall at 10 p.m. on CBS starting September 22nd. And you can learn more about the real Cristalli and Saggese at their website, cristalli-saggese.com. Michael and Mark, I'm sorry we ran out of time, but thank you so much for joining us in Mr. Media today.
It's our pleasure.
Thanks, guys. Great show.
Good luck. Thank you. And folks, for more original interviews with your favorite legal and illegal legends, surf over to our main website, mrmedia.com. And please take advantage of this great offer for Mr. Media radio listeners. Go to audiblepodcast.com/mrmedia to get a free audiobook download of your choice when you sign up today. Again, that's audiblepodcast.com/mrmedia for your free audiobook. Subscribe to Mr. Media on iTunes and you'll never miss a show. Just search Mr. Media Interviews from within iTunes and subscribe for free. You can also listen with a piece of string and a tin can in many locations. If you've got an idea for a guest, email me directly at bob@mrmedia.com. It's mrmedia.com. You can also follow me on Facebook or on Twitter, twitter.com/Andelman, or on Facebook, just search Mr. Media Interviews. Thanks so much for joining us today. I always appreciate you sharing a piece of your day with Mr. Media. I hope you'll come back and listen real soon and very often. And don't miss us on iTunes. If you get the chance, go there. Subscribe. What am I going to say? Oh, give us a rating, review us, all that stuff. Bye, everybody. Thanks for listening.
When I have an asthma attack, I feel scared. It's like tiny nails in the air poke my lungs. I start to cough. Sometimes my parents have to take me to the hospital.
Today, 1 out of 13 children suffer from some form of asthma, accounting for nearly 1/3 of all emergency room visits.
I feel like I'm choking. It's kind of like an elephant is on my chest. A little whistle sound comes out when I breathe.
But while your child may suffer from asthma, asthma doesn't have to make your child suffer. There are simple ways you can prevent